There's not a lot of core knowledge schools here in the city. And so that really sets us apart because they don't get this experience everywhere else. And in typical schools right now, they're focusing so much on just reading and math, and they're not focusing on science and social studies. But what we're going to do is use our science and social studies content to teach the reading skills that they need to be taught.
We'll be utilizing a rotational model of blended learning, and that's really a way basically to present the same material multiple different ways to reach different learning styles of kids.
My son, he's great at math, but he doesn't like reading so much. I have to kind of force him to read, so I really want him to be in an environment where he's pushed to read, he's pushed to exceed.
I think it's important to focus on not only academics, but you also got to focus on some life skills too. A lot of people are graduating from school, leaving high school, going into college, and they don't have a whole lot of experience with real life applications. So I think finding the time during the school day to bring those aspects in with the financial literacy, the entrepreneurship, and the civic engagement is something that I really think schools were meant to do in the first place.
It's so important for kids to know how to get involved in their community and to really feel like they can make a difference in their community just by staying active and learning how to become good citizens.
We will begin in kindergarten focusing on entrepreneurship, building those entrepreneurial skills in students. We have some really good partnerships, one with Junior Achievement, another one with Girls Inc., who will come in and really develop those financial literacy skills and business skills needed to really understand what it takes to run a successful business.
I get really excited when I get to talk about the entrepreneur piece. How are we teaching kids really early on, not only to be financially, responsible, being financially literate, but then also kind of getting their own ideas. How can they be change agents?
For a long time, schools were really apprehensive, really against technology almost, but kids are gonna have their cell phones, they're gonna have computers, and when that's what they're looking at and that's what they're interested in, you should really be kind of encouraging them because that's how they're gonna be learning.
What we're using the technology for is to really provide that personalized learning approach for every individual student. So we're able to take a look at each individual student and put them on a personalized learning path so that they are getting instruction at their level. We're able to monitor their progress really closely and make good decisions as far as remediation and enrichment so that we can help every individual student grow to their maximum potential. We're in a unique spot where we are located in a building that was a charter school that was actually closed down by the mayor's office, and the building sat vacant for 2 years. We were fortunate enough to actually get granted our charter while the building went through the foreclosure process, so we were actually able to pick up the building for a very reasonable price. I thought it was a great opportunity to come in here and say, you know what, we're going to reopen this as a school because that's what it was renovated to be, a school. Let's just move in and repurpose it and utilize it so that all the money that taxpayers already put into the building as a school, they're not at a loss. It's really neat because when you walk around the building, you see a lot of the character of what it was, like the exposed ceilings, the duct work. It's not representative of what schools typically are. So immediately when you walk in here, it feels different, and it's good. It's good to feel that because what we're doing here is something that's different.
We're really going to focus on outreaching to the community and basically not only being a school but also being sort of a community center.
I was kind of skeptical of having another school here considering that the first school closed, but I see that the positivity and the vibe that you guys are bringing, I think is excellent.
I'm very excited about the school that's coming in the fall 2014. I think this is a neighborhood that's been in need of a positive sort of school like this where there's a community environment where people are coming together. I've heard many of the community groups talking to us, excited about the fact that this is something that they've been looking for.
This is where kids spend most of their day anyway, where families spend most of their day. We really want to welcome them. We really want to have engaging programs. Maybe that's enrichment after school. Maybe there's reading tutoring that happens with volunteers. But really giving kids and families and communities kind of the greatest opportunity.
I want our families to feel welcome. I want them to know that, hey, we're here for them. We're here to provide not only a great education for their children, but also serve as a resource for them. And I think that's something that's really important that a lot of schools are missing these days.
When your child is in school, sometimes there are things that come up that are not necessarily part of the education, but it affects the children's life. And if they're going through hardships, it makes it hard to do good in school. So we want to kind of cover down for that and be a resource for the family and the community as well as the child.
I originally worked in this area teaching in one of the other public schools, and now I'm back here with the CFA organization and really looking forward to bringing life back into the neighborhood and being a trailblazer for these areas and these students.
We are intentionally kind of making sure that we are building strong relationships that will sustain. That we're not here just to kind of have the kids for 8 hours a day and then send them on their way. We're really here to be cornerstones, to be really foundations for communities. Whether that's relationships with the churches, whether that's relationships with the community centers around, with some of the apartment complexes, really letting them know that we're here and that we're here to stay. Being
an explorer, being out there in a way where people haven't ventured before, I mean that is being a trailblazer. And with technology integration and the blended learning model, that's all something that's new. So we're out there. We're out there trying new things, and blazing the trail is what we're doing.